Well, hello there, everybody. Good King here. Back with another stream, a Tuesday stream. We're gonna do some Returnal, and we're gonna have a great, jolly old time. Although I'm looking at my thumbnail, and I think I messed up my thumbnail. It says 13, it should say 12. I'll fix it later. It's fine. We don't have to make a thing of it, okay? But yeah, how y'all doing? Good to see you. By the way, and I'll probably repeat this a couple of times over the course of the stream as, people, file in. There is a poll up in the community section for what game we'll be playing next, which I might start very soon. In fact, I probably will wait till next week, but I'm going to be starting a new game here quite soon, I think. What's going on, Whitey? Waylon, how y'all doing? Good to see ya. But the plan right now is we're either going to play the new Shinobi, Art of Vengeance, or start the first Hollow Knight game. Now, full disclosure, I have never played Hollow Knight all the way through. Really haven't played much of it at all. I've maybe done like 1 or 2 boss fights or something. So I have very little experience with it, though I like what I've played very much, so that would obviously be a fun choice, and eventually that would work us towards playing the new one. But also, we have Shinobi Art of Vengeance, which I have been playing that offline, and let me tell you all, that game is freaking awesome. That is, I mean, granted, I assume both of them will be pretty great, but of the two, that is the known commodity to me. I think Shinobi is fantastic, so that would also make for a fun streaming experience. Wouldn't take very long to play. I've been at my playthrough for maybe, 12, 13 hours, and have done a lot of it already. Platinuming it could be a challenge, because it's a pretty tough game, but it's really fun. I love it so far. But I'm sure Hollow Knight would also be a great choice. But also for starting probably around middle of October, we're gonna do some horror gaming. I probably will finish Faith the Unholy Trinity then, but also start the game Soma. Hosty and Goodwin were both telling me about how great it is. I've heard a lot of things about how awesome it is, so I do want to play that. So that is the current plan. Now this game, that doesn't mean I will be abandoning the Platinum run or anything. It's just a lot of what we got going on with it right now is just scouring for, items. And that's really all there is to it, so it doesn't make for the greatest objective, so might be one of those things where I hold off on a couple of trophies until I know I'm about to get them, or, could get them, that kind of thing. Just want to ensure that they can be entertaining, so that is the plan. But anyway, how y'all doing? I know Waylon said you said you're doing well. That's great. I hope you're all having a fine start to your week. I'll go ahead and pop a shield on real quick. Like I said, I might start Hollow Knight or Shinobi as soon as tomorrow. I put the poll up for, have the potential vote of, going on for 5 days. If it's like a runaway vote, which is very possible, that'll just make deciding much easier. Last I checked, Shinobi had maybe one more vote on the YouTube poll, and on the Twitter poll it was very much favoring Hollow Knight. Though there weren't many votes yet. There were like 7 votes, and maybe, I think it was like 5-2. Whitey, obviously, another fantastic stream. Did you decide to go back to Project Zombie just to shake things up? Or was it genuine Stardew fatigue? I am curious about that. Again, we're kind of just looking for certain quickie items. Actually, I think there is a trophy for holding 5 parasites at the same time, which I don't think I have yet. So I might have to grab that. See if we can. Yeah, a bit of both. I don't like other people setting my schedule or whatever. No offense to my friend, but I work in a place. I can totally understand that. That's actually part of the reason why I don't do a lot of multiplayer gaming. Is the first time I really started to get into it, I was like, wait a minute, other people are dictating what I play, and I don't even want to play this right now, so what the heck? I enjoy the story more than just doing money mechanics. Gotcha. Wait, the story to which one? The story to Stardew or Project Zomboid? I wasn't even aware what the stories were. I didn't even know if Stardew had an actual story. Other than maybe like little, you know, small scale stories. But I don't know. On my own and help. Ah, okay, I gotcha. Haven't been in multiplayer since like 2017. Yeah, I totally get it. Yeah, I'm kind of like, I'm not completely averse to it. What's going on, Israel? How you doing? I'm not completely against, you know, multiplayer. But it's just, it doesn't do much for me. Oh, I don't know about inhibiting Silphium. That's kind of a crappy. That's kind of a crappy parasite. Not too fond of that parasite. That parasite kind of sucks. But also miss smashing zombie heads. I feel you. We'll have to talk a little bit this week about what we're planning for the live show. I know, like, I'm talking to Whitey right now. I feel like with what happened last week, that kind of put a little bit of a, more than a little bit, but a dent in starting the live show too soon, because obviously a component of it is looking through Twitter and judging people's posts, and I'm like, how long is this? It's like you kind of wonder, it's like, how long is this going to dominate the conversation to where this is kind of all you're seeing? Not that it's impossible or anything to, you know, find other things people are saying. It's just, we kind of know what everyone's talking about right now, with Charlie Kirk and everything, which, you know, it's understandable, of course. Lord knows I've been doing my fair share of it. But, yeah, for the kind of show Whitey and I are talking about doing on the weekly, yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Those things are freaking tanks. They take so much damage. Oh! I like that ability. That was kind of neat. Oh, James Cameron's writing a new Terminator. I was like, ugh, no thanks. Well, that's assuming it ever gets made. A lot of projects get started, and again, I mean, granted, it's one of those things where it's like, of course they're going to make a new Terminator at some point. And I'm sure they'll probably give him a writing credit, but it's I wouldn't be surprised if this is one of those things that he starts and then he hands off to someone else. But I could not care less about him doing another Terminator film. I don't want to see him make a low T-1000. Oh, yeah, well, he had a hand in the writing. I don't know if he full-blown wrote it, or if he was just one of the credited writers, but yeah, he did have a hand on Dark Fate, and we all know how that went. Hey, what's up, Cannoli? Newly baptized Cannoli, which is awesome. I just want Cameron to stop working. Yeah. It's like, Cameron, you lost the magic a while back. Yeah, I mean, some people like True Lies, fine, I guess. I don't think it's all that good, but whatever. But since then, I think we can pretty much all agree the forays into the whole Blue Man Group thing, kinda crap. And sorry. Hey, what's up, Boosh? I don't know about formerly known, still known. This is just a channel name more than anything, but you know. Well, it always is. The sanctification process is always the tough one. Yeah, I'll be honest, I mean, like, I get the appeal to True Lies, it's just... It never did much for me. I was just like, okay. But, yeah, it's never been a favorite of mine. I've never cared much for it. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Mean Girls. Actually, no joke, Mean Girls is pretty good, but... That's not my favorite movie. That's not the favorite. Oh, look, another parasite. I shall call him Destiny. Yo, 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 1483 to the 1483 to the 3 to the 6 to the 9, representing the ABQ. What up, bitch? How you doing, 60? Excited to see the remastered Tron movies. Yeah, I still have never watched the first one, and I've only watched like most of the second one. I don't even know if most, just a good amount. Yeah, I remember you telling me that Murder on the Orient Express is actually not too shabby. That's cool. I'm glad to hear that, because we do have a couple of those. Or, I mean, I streamed Tuesday last week. I streamed. Wednesday I did not stream because that was the day. That was the day of the Charlie Kirk thing, and I was genuinely disturbed and horrified by that, and kind of followed that all day. And I was not up to being on live. I was like, I honestly don't know what to say at this point. So, yeah. But I did stream once last week. Oh no. I failed. But also, I said this when the stream started. I'll go ahead and point it out again. There are polls up on X and over and in the community section here about what I will be playing next, and I might start it quite soon. In fact, I'm going to be either doing Hollow Knight, the first one, or Shinobi Art of Vengeance, which I've actually been playing that off stream, and it's really freaking good. Now, I know everyone's saying Expedition 33 and Hollow Knight Silksong are the two best games of the year, and I did just pick up Silksong. I do have Expedition 33. Will you play Balatro? At some point, I'll pick it back up, yeah. Maybe I'll make that for, like, chill streams where I'm just, you know... But I'm trying to take a bit of a breather from Balatro because I sunk so many hours into that game on and off stream, so I was like, okay, I'm getting a little tired of this now. Silksong, I will at some point play Silksong. I do, that's why I'm like, if I start Hollow Knight, the first one, the plan right now is starting very soon. It could be as soon as tomorrow, might wait till next week, we'll see. I'm gonna either do the first Hollow Knight or Shinobi. I'm going to, starting in about middle of October, I'm gonna do a little bit of horror gaming. So I'm gonna play, I'm gonna finish Faith the Unholy Trinity, and I'm gonna play Soma. And then once those are done, I'll resume whichever of the games I'd started, assuming they're not finished. So let's say I start Shinobi. That one I probably could finish before Halloween. But now if I do Hollow Knight, from what I understand, Hollow Knight's a good bit longer. So that one I would have to pick up and resume. And then, after that's done, if I start Hollow Knight, then I'll probably just move on to Silksong right after that. But, yeah. Hollow Knights and Shinobis are going to be played live. Let's just put it that way. And they will be among the games that I play relatively soon, I think. But yeah. Yeah, I had some friends saying you should play Soma, and I was like, I was thinking about doing some horror gaming for Halloween. They were like, do that one. I was like, alright. Soma Spaghetti. I don't know how to say what you just wrote. Cannoli, help me out here. Say it for us. Come on, do it audibly. We know you can. We know you can break through. Do it. Do it. Do it. Bada bing that stuff. Soma spaghetti weird al dente. That actually was very helpful, Boosh. Thank you. How about you? Alright. Weapon harvest here. I feel like SpongeBob right now. He's like, sorry, I don't speak Italian. Okay. Now. It's so pretty. This is probably up above here. Yeah, the QB we may need to worry about is Caleb Williams, not JJ. Like, I tend to agree with you that JJ McCarthy, like them saying, oh, he's crap or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, be patient. It's been 2 games. Calm down. Like, seriously, calm down. Like, it's kind of ridiculous how impatient fan bases are becoming with quarterbacks. Now, Caleb Williams, I'm like, yeah, that's a bit alarming that he's kind of crap. He's not playing very well, and he really, like, he has flashes here and there, and I know it's Chicago, but my gosh, and the thing is, I don't see it getting any better for him because he's stuck in a division with Green Bay, and Detroit's, pretty solid too. So Green Bay looks really good. Green Bay looks really good. I like what Green Bay's doing a lot. That is a good roster right there. If they're healthy, they're gonna be tough. They're gonna be very tough to take out. I still tend to favor the Eagles playoff time, but Green Bay is no joke. They are no joke. Greatly increased melee cooldown and dash cooldown. Wait, we're one parasite away, I think. ESO nerfed my busted non-meta healer build and buffed the meta build. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, ESO, is that Elder Scrolls Online? Okay, that's why I didn't understand, because I don't care about Elder Scrolls. Are the Chiefs truly in trouble yet? No. No. Go look up their schedule that's coming up. They're not in trouble. They're probably gonna reel off several consecutive wins. I think they're gonna be fine. Now, obviously it's gonna somewhat depend on what you mean by in trouble, because it's not a lock that they're gonna win their division. I actually do think that the Chargers are a legitimate threat. Denver should be a threat, but Denver's not playing very well. They don't look especially great right now, and they've got the roster to be. Unless, of course, that, Indy's for real, in which case I guess that would be somewhat of a forgivable loss, but I thought Indy was gonna suck this year, personally. I am a wee bit surprised by how good they're playing, let me tell you. Have you seen Superman? Yes, I have seen Superman. And it's fine if people like it, but I think it's awful. I thought it was really bad. Like, really, really bad. I thought it was a pretty horrible film, objectively speaking. That's not to say there are no enjoyable bits to it, but on the whole, thought it was crap. Didn't care for it. Not exactly encouraged by that movie as far as, the DC EU new thing is going forward. I thought David Cornsweet did a decent job with his acting. I think Nicholas Holt's a good actor to play Lex Luthor, but I hated a lot of the stuff they did with both of their characters. I think they made them come off like petulant teenagers, which... Why? Well, I know why. It's James Gunn thinking he's so funny. The thing is, James Gunn has movies that are good. One of the funniest like bits of cope that I see from people who are fans of this movie who, hate when you have a different opinion than them. They're like, "Oh, you must be a Snyder bro," and I'm like, I hate most James Snyder movies, or James Snyder, Zack Snyder movies. It's like, I hate most of his movies. I was like, I probably like more James Gunn movies than I like Zack Snyder movies. But it's like they have nothing to do with each other as far as I'm concerned. I don't care about either. There we go. There's my... Look at me. I'm covered in these little things. Get them off me! James Snyder Gunn. What Cornsweet could... Yeah, I like David Cornsweet. I thought he was fine. At least acting-wise. I just thought the character they wrote for him was crap. I think most of the characters in Superman are crap. With maybe the exception of Mr. Terrific, which I was like, okay, why is this a Mr. Terrific movie? Also, speaking of movies, I'm pretty sure that they changed, from what I saw, they changed the book ending of The Long Walk for the movie. I really don't like that choice that they made. From what I've heard about it, I was like, nah, I know what you're all doing with this bull crap. it's hard not to think. Now, granted, I haven't seen the movie. I'll be honest, I'm not going to pay to see the movie because Stephen King can GFH. But yeah, pretty big change I saw in the ending of that compared to the book. Which I've read the book several times. It's one of the few books of his I actually like. And I'm like, nah. Changing the ending is... I don't like that. Don't like it. Not one bit. Not a fan. Let's see. They were both in a bad episode of Rick and Morty. Oh. If they do go back, they would tie Brady's 8-in-a-row streak going to AFC champs. Oh, you're referring to Kansas City? So it's not out in China. What? That must be an answer to a question that I missed. Is a long walk about Christopher Walken a long way? Yes. I'm glad you know that offhand. That way I don't have to explain it. That makes it a lot easier. All right. Let's see if we can find anything else. He gets tired and becomes Christopher sitting. That's right. Or he gets energetic and becomes Christopher running. Actually, one of the kind of amusing bits of the Bachman books was that you have one story called The Long Walk, and then you have the other story, The Running Man. They were in the same book series. So you have a Long Walk and a Running Man. And they're both dystopian. It's almost like Stephen King was trying to tell us something. Which is not to say he makes good points, it's just... There seems to be some commentary about how people move, you know? I don't think he had a firm grasp, though, on it's like one of the funniest things kind of about The Long Walk, it's kind of one of the biggest issues with it is... in the book, and this is one of the changes that the movie made that I'm like, okay, that's actually a good change, is in the movie they have to maintain a speed of 3 miles per hour, whereas in the book they had to maintain 4 miles per hour, and I'm like, maintaining 4 miles per hour is actually really freaking hard. That would not be easy. In fact, for the amount of time they do it, I'm like, I kind of think that's impossible. Like, it's kind of distracting. It's like 4 miles per hour is pretty brisk. That is a brisk pace to be doing for hundreds of miles. That's kind of insane. So, hard time buying that. But, other than that, you know, it's actually a really good book. Is that the only item I need to pick up? If they ban the tush push, it's proof how biased the league is for the Chiefs. Kinda, yeah. I kinda agree. I kind of agree with that. Because, I mean, again, it's like, if it's so unstoppable, why are you all not all doing this play? Like, if it is that unstoppable a play, that should mean any team with a strong offensive line should be able to do it. Kansas City, you got some big guys up front. You can do it. Okay, maybe somewhere like Pittsburgh can't do it, because Pittsburgh's O-line is trash. You know, I get that there's a few teams that aren't going to do well with it, but guess what? Those are the teams we expect to be bad anyway. I mean, shoot, you want a team that should be doing it is frickin' Buffalo. They should be tush pushing the whole way. Like I was saying, if Philly should be adopting a chant. They say, push that, tush, no homo. Push that, tush, no homo. That's what they should do. Every time. I think it'd be hilarious, and I think it would be kind of accurate. You know, unless homo. One piece of football commentary I found really funny yesterday. I think it was Dan Orlovsky. He said that if Joe Burrow is out for an extended period of time, then Cincinnati should start planning their future without Joe Burrow. And I'm like, you don't know Cincinnati very well, do you? Like, let's say hypothetically, like, let's say there's some merit to that. I would even say there might very well be, because he gets injured a lot, although I think that's more their fault. But that was funny part number one of his, statement. But number two, I was like, Cincy does not plan ahead. Have you only just figured out who they are? Cincy is not a team that gives up on players or coaches or anybody easily, especially if they already paid him. It'd be one thing if they hadn't paid him yet, but guess what? They did. Cincy is not going to plan for someone other than Joe Burrow. In fact, kind of their big problem is they haven't even planned quite for him. They don't get him an offensive line. Let me say, I know what we need, a wide receiver. Like, again? And situation is worse than Andrew Luck. Kinda is. It kinda is. Like, well, it is and it is. Like, that's kind of the weird thing. It is and it isn't simultaneously. Because on the one hand, he does have some really good players around him. I mean, there are good, great offensive pieces around him. But his offensive line is awful. I think his coach is not very good. It's like there's a lot of issues with the way that team is run. And I think they're wasting him. I think ultimately we're going to look back at Joe Burrow's career and think what a waste, unless he gets out of Cincinnati. Like, I almost feel like the best you can hope for is he has, and then maybe he wins the Super Bowl. Or he's hopefully not, broken by then. It kind of sucks. Since they're insane people. I already told you, man, Ohio very often, I know that much. I tend to avoid. I'm not a big Ohio person. 7 presidents. All of them were lacking. How do they keep getting presidents from there? I don't get that. What have they done that's special? Oh, shoot. Oh, nailed me. Okay. That's been a big voting block ever since it came into this. Yeah.
Keep going.
I need to keep going. Alright, so we are gonna head over to the other areas. They're a little bit easier to explore. Maybe we can get one survey complete. Just get one survey complete, y'all. By the way, over on the Papa Pumpkin channel, I do have a video ready and finished that is currently being blocked by Amazon because Amazon is gay. So if you do want to watch that video, and granted it's an older upload, it's just tweaked, but that video is up on Rumble. So there you go. Video is available on Rumble. It is the lengthy Rings of Power Episode 1 review that I did. Which was a fun video. That was I think that's the longest video I ever made. But it's a good one. It's a good one, I think. I actually like that vid. But that is up on Rumble now. Hopefully it gets unblocked. It is in dispute. If not, I don't know. We'll see what I can maybe do to fix it, but I don't know. YouTube has been incredibly frustrating with copyright claims and whatnot. Like they've become like way more vague about why you're getting claims. Like they used to have like specific like 5, 6, 7 section or 5, 6, 7 second sections that they could point to and say this is the reason why your video is getting claimed. Now they've broadened it out to like sections that are like several. Like I'll be honest, I don't know how I don't know if movie reviews are going to survive on this platform the way things are going right now. I don't know if they're going to survive. Which, granted, might not be such a bad thing if Rumble can, tweak their platform and make it better and make it more, creator friendly. That'd be great. But obviously, the user bases would all have to start moving over there with them, because that's kind of what it's going to be mostly contingent on: is will people move over to those platforms to watch? Because doing it on YouTube is incredibly dicey right now. They do not help at all. Oh yeah, Rumble has a lot they need to fix. Like, it's like Rumble is a massive crapshoot. Rumble has plenty of, it's like there are things about it I very much appreciate about it, but what channels hit and what don't, it's like, okay, I don't know. I don't freaking know. You almost have to be popular beforehand. I've maybe seen one or two people get popular specifically from Rumble, and that's great. Like if you can figure that out, awesome. But I don't know if most people can. So yeah, it is strange. I would love to see them keep working to get better while maintaining their their friendliness to, First Amendment and, allowing creators to do their thing. But course, a lot of it really is going to come down to people. I mean, honestly, if users want to see videos get better and not just be fed the same slop over and over again, they're going to have to make a change too. That's kind of the big problem, is a lot of what goes on with YouTube. If that's really going to change, people are going to have to start moving over. They're going to have to start moving to different platforms, because I think, I'll be honest, I think YouTube is, not even just from a creator perspective, just from a viewing standpoint, is kind of insufferable at this point. If you don't have ad blockers, which even ad blockers are getting harder to utilize, because they're like, oh, we're going to block your channel, or you're experiencing interruptions because of ad blockers and stuff. But you have to watch like if you're watching a video that's a half hour long, you're going to watch a minimum of probably like 3 to 5 minutes worth of ads. Like, that's kind of a given at this point, and it's kind of ridiculous. Whereas, as far as I can tell with Rumble, you get 2 ads that you can skip at the very beginning of most streams that I've seen, and then that's that. Like, okay, enjoy your vid. It's like, oh, okay, that's not too bad. Certainly a better alternative. Certainly a better alternative. Express, I don't know how I didn't think it was as good as it was. That's cool, though. That's good, though. That happens sometimes. I've had plenty of viewing experiences like that where I'll watch a movie and think, you know, it's nothing special, and then I'll rewatch it and I'll be like, what was wrong with me? This is actually kind of great. Or at least very good. It happens sometimes, and I think it's a good feeling. That's why I tell people, some movies are worth giving second chances to. Like, even though I didn't love Weapons the first time, that is very much a movie I'd like to go back and watch, because it's like, I'm not positive about my take on it yet. I have heard some people I trust say it's actually much better than you realize, and we're like, okay, I'll give it another chance. Because maybe some of my issues with it were wrong. I might rewatch it and think, you know what, this is a swell film. It's the swell viewing experience. Alright. Oh my gosh. It's one of you. I would like to get a different electropium driver or weapon altogether. And this should be a good spot to find a weapon. Hopefully a decent one. I'll take it. I'll take it. Alright. Shrub these fools. I think we're in trouble, y'all. That was a lot of those all at once. That was a lot of those. It was kind of a problem. Okay. So our character is dying right now. She's not feeling well. Can't get in there yet. I don't have the necessary upgrade, which I swear if there's one thing I'd change about this game is I would make that upgrade permanent. I would turn that into a permanent upgrade. Hey, looky, looky. Still need 2 more. Surroundings, location, sphere. Sphere. Not sphere. That was stupid. Oh, jeez. I don't know if we're going to make it out of this fight. And I called that one a little too quickly. Oof. Tell you what. We're going to zoom over to the DLC.
Helios, I have to leave you now.
Where is Death in the Nile?
I have to go to the tower.
Yeah, I've heard Death in the Nile is bad, but I've heard A Haunting of Venice is actually quite good. It's the Meatloaf song. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Ma, how much the Meatloaf? Oh yeah, one other thing that happened today, haven't even acknowledged it yet. R.I.P. Robert Redford. Genuine legend of cinema. Passed away. Almost forgot about that, but yeah. I mean, granted, he was up there in age, so I mean, it wasn't like a massive surprise, I suppose, but you know, dude was a legend. A lot of great movies under that guy's belt. Haunting of Venice is the best one. Nice. Yeah. I know Cannoli brought this up. It's like, man, whenever it's Clint Eastwood's time, phew, that's gonna be a hard one to process.
The same, but different. Unable to hear each other. A push. A fall. The seed of war.
La push? Like Twilight?
Sending a message. Or a signal.
A virtue signal.
The signal. That's what broke them.
They were broken by a signal? That's kind of gay.
It looks so alone.
Alright, I think that's all of the ones in here. I don't know how many there are in total. Weird trilogy though, I can't think of another trilogy where the second movie is the stinker. It's a good question, actually. Are there other trilogies where the first and third ones are good, but the second one isn't? Devil May Cry. The video game trilogy. Boom. Nailed it. I mean, it actually is true, but it's not a movie, so it doesn't count technically, but that is true. But let's see if we can think of a movie one. What Cash Patel said about you-know-who is highly sus and concerning. I find that guy in general highly sus and concerning, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, a lot of people I interact with might understandably be frustrated when I don't engage in a lot of conspiracy theory stuff. It's not because I don't think there's any validity to such claims. It's because it's way too early It's way too early. We don't have nearly enough information, I don't think, to start trying to work that one out. Is there more going on than we know? Very possibly. Maybe even likely. But, there's always sus stuff going on with these people. Oh, Pam Bondi's been horrible. I don't care for... I mean, look. I keep telling people. Women in politics is a bad idea. So when I hear people talking about wanting... Oh, maybe... Oh, Tulsi Gabbard's been so cool. Wait, what if we made her president? And I'm like, how about you shut up and stop being stupid? That's a terrible idea. That's a really terrible idea. I wouldn't even care if she actually were a conservative. I wouldn't freaking want her as president. That's retarded. I don't want a woman president, and I will stay on track like that forever. I don't want a woman president. I'm not saying I would absolutely never vote for one if that's the best possible alternative, but whew, that's a dark day if that's your best alternative. I don't care how sexist that sounds. Patriarchy for the win, all day. All day long. Yeah, Pam Bondi's been really stupid throughout this thing. And what she said, what was it, last night? Everyone was like, can you believe she said that? And I'm like, of course I can believe she said that. She's an idiot. She's probably been the biggest tard in the whole administration. Well, obviously, no women pastors. I mean, that's heresy to have women pastors and priests. It's full-blown heresy. If your church has a female as pastor, or females who are leading men, you need to leave that church. It's involved in heresy. I hate to break it to you. Women are not to lead men. It's unbiblical. You're not in a Christian church if women are leading men. Okay, here we go. I hope somebody someday clips this stream and be like, can you believe he said all this stuff? What a sexist. And I'm like, you're welcome.
I had covered every inch of my suit with skin from the tower. Irreversibly contaminated according to Scout regulations. What a joke. I am beautiful in this skin. I am worthy to ascend. I accept this torment. As I climb, I become something greater than myself.
She sounds crazy. Alright, another shield. Nice. That's right, Anglicans. Remember that. Bondi needs to resign or be fired. I agree. Well, Anglicans remember that. I know the Orthodox, they obviously follow that. Most Catholics understand that, I think. I would say, unfortunately, far too... Now, this is not to say no Protestant churches do. I mean, obviously, I am, more or less Protestant. But there's a lot of so-called Protestant churches that don't follow that. Now, granted, viewing Protestantism as a monolith is kind of silly, I think, but all the same, it is undeniable, how many of them are out there that don't understand biblical teaching. There's a lot of bad ones. Catholic Orthodox. Well, I know that if you actually follow the strict tenets of either, then right. they won't allow that. But there are phony Catholic churches out there that are allowing this stuff now. We're starting to see Roman Catholicism has been infiltrated, just like most churches tend to get infiltrated. You know, it's not necessarily representative of that particular faith's, beliefs as a whole, but there has been some infiltration on that front. No, get over there, get over there, get over there! There we go. This is where you find the white lilies. Generally, at least. Let's see. Hostiles have a chance to drop resin detached after being hit 3 times. No negative effects. Hassan Piker needs to be deployed into Ukraine. I'll take what this gives me. Alright, so get that out. Key. Ooh, nailed him. I like that. Alright, nailed him. Let's see, is there anything else in this little map area? No. Doesn't appear to be. Nope, no thanks. And there's our disgorger. It's disgorgeous. By the way, y'all, tonight, penultimate episode of Alien Earth. We're almost done with that crap. And boy, has it been terrible. Oh. Alright, that's right. You are on Jacob Ironside's channel tonight. Nice. I need some help. Oh, looky.
I would not investigate a signal unless specifically authorized to do so by Astra Command.
Multiple are calling for him to be fired.
Of course. Feel free to ask.
Interesting.
Yes.
Is it because of what he just said, or is there another reason?
You're right, of course. Loss, grief. It is the hole that cannot be filled, but...
Whoa, calm down there, lady. We don't want to talk about unfilled holes.
I have given everything for this role. I will continue to do so.
We don't want to hear about your unfilled holes. Come on now. It's accumulative. They've had enough of this guy. I mean, I'm like, okay. I mean, I tend to agree. I think he's done a terrible job. He's not the main one I won't let go, though. I'd rather you get rid of Pam Bondi. I mean, you can get rid of both. I mean, we can go double on that. I'd be okay. But yeah, I tend to agree he's been incredibly inept. Both of them have. I think they've been arguably the most embarrassing people in the administration overall. Hey, what's up, Hosty? How you doing? And Hosty and Goodwin earlier pushing hard for, you gotta play Soma, you gotta play Soma. It's like, alright, I'll play Soma. I'll get me some of that. That and I'll finish Faith, the Unholy Trinity. I think I have I know I have Soma on my PlayStation. I don't think I have it on Steam. But obviously Faith, that'll be on Steam. Wow. Prepare to be depressed though. Soma is that kind of game. Oh, cool. I love depression. Gaining or fixing malfunctions repairs integrity, or this other one. We'll go with the other one. Because most, if not all, of the malfunctions that I will be fixing, or that I'll be gaining, will not be fixable in this run. Ow, he hit me. I actually should have unleashed the Disgorger on here, because you have to get 100 kills for one of the trophies. I think I've got maybe like 30 something. To a highly populated area. I'm just gonna go crazy. Look at that. Look at all that. That's good stuff. I wonder if Vexus started last week's episode of Alien Earth, because I don't think she's caught up yet. I kind of forgot how mid the Bourne movies are. I haven't forgot that at all. And I tend to agree. I think the Bourne movies are fine, but little else. I think they're just fine. I'm not even sure if I agree with the idea that the best one is the third one. I'm honestly not sure. Yeah, I just think the Bourne movies are okay. I've never found them, like, highly rewatchable. I mean, granted, they're a better action franchise, I suppose, than John Wick. Although John Wick 1 is a higher peak for those movies. John Wick has a higher peak entry than the Bourne movies do. I think John Wick 1 is better than all of them. I still only have half the trophies. Well, it depends on the game trophy hunting was. I like trophy hunting if it adds to the experience. Like if it gets you to explore like story aspects or gets you to, you know, utilize certain mechanics. That to me is a fun trophy hunting experience. Games where it's just collect, I'm like, that's really boring. Like I think I've platinumed one or two Assassin's Creed games before. I think for the most part those collection runs are pretty tedious because it's just collect this flag, collect this flag, collect this flag. It's like, and what do you get if you get all of them? Well, you get a trophy. Well, what do the flags do? They're flags. It's like, oh. Kind of similar with a lot of the Arkham games. They have a lot of that going. I mean, granted, at least there's something of a reward to it, but the best trophy runs or achievement hunting is when it adds to the playing experience. This one, I think, does that pretty decent. You know, you're trying to unlock, you know, story content and stuff like that. So this game, I think, does it well. And then some games flat out do it in such a way where you start to hate the game. Like I've said this before, I think one of the worst trophy runs I ever did was for the first Ratchet and Clank game. It kind of made me start hating the game, and that's one of my favorite platformers. I love the Ratchet and Clank series, but that original one, the platinum run they had for the remaster, was awful. It was absolutely awful. It was not fun. It was not structured in such ways to make that fun. Now the sequels thankfully fixed a lot of that, but holy crap, that first one was a freaking slog. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Batman Arkham Knight is an awful platinum run. Yeah, I looked at the trophy list for that and I'm like, there is no way I'm bothering. No way. Last night she... Wait, who? Molly is leaving after this year. Really? That's interesting. I mean, I would believe it's good news if I thought they'd replace her with somebody competent, but press X to doubt on that one. I completed all of the quests in Batman Arkham Knight back in the day, except for the Riddler quest. I don't think I've ever bothered to try. I'm like, yeah, no. I'm like, you're hiding Riddler behind a wall of what, like a few hundred riddles? It's like, it's a little much. It's a little much. I don't even think those riddles are all that fun, if at all. I was like, nah, I'm good. Like I'll be honest, one of the most drastic reductions in fun between the first playthrough and the second playthrough for me was Arkham Knight. I loved my first playthrough of it. Second playthrough, I was like, huh, this is not fun to replay. It's kind of mid when you're playing through it a second time. I do not love that game. I was like, wow, this is... I used to have this as maybe the first or second best Arkham game. I think I'd put it last now. Actually, that's not even a thought. I'm certain I'd put it last now. And it's not to say I don't like it at all. I think it's got good, it's got its good qualities. It's got its fun moments. It's got its decent story elements. It's also got some really stupid ones too on all those fronts. Too much Batmobile. I don't know if I care for the Joker thing they've got going in the game. I think they should have just focused on Scarecrow as the bad guy. I think that would have been a lot more interesting, but that's me. That's me. Successful overloads cause weapon to fire. Break shields for 6 seconds. Oh, well, this actually will end up permanent because I have permanent malfunction. That's cool. It's cool, man. I'm a glowy little orb. Yeah, I saw those. I saw those messages between him and his gay lover, and they were like that reaction video by that news anchor. I was like, that's gross, dude. What is wrong with you? Oh, they're surprisingly touching. I'm like, are you all really trying to generate sympathy for this person? Seriously? That's the angle you want to take? Okay. I need a different gun. This gun, not a big fan of it. Thinks I'm weird for being pro death penalty until I remind them that people like Tyler Robinson exist. Yeah. I don't understand why people are anti death penalty. I don't understand that. I legitimately don't. I'm like, and I don't know if I've even ever met anybody who's consistent on it. Arkham Knight is one of the dumbest villains ever, and Johnny Silverhand is a better version of the Joker from Arkham Knight. Yeah, that's probably true. The twist with the Arkham Knight is one of the most predictable in gaming history. Like, I was like, I'm sorry, if you didn't see that coming, you're really stupid. That was obvious from very early. Like, can you believe that was him? That was, what was it, Jason Todd? I was like, yeah. It's like, yeah, it was pretty... I'm not even that much of a comic reader, and I saw that one. Especially when you do, like, any of the talks of that event, and I'm like, oh, well, that's him. Why do you think they're talking about him? Because of course that's who it is. Yeah, Arkham Knight would have been a way better game if they had just stayed focused on Scarecrow. The Scarecrow stuff is kind of cool. That stuff I was pretty down for. Under the Red Hood is a much less convoluted version of the Arkham Knight story. Yeah. Balatro Kenobi here, picking up all this stuff. Oh my gosh. Alright. Oh dear. There we go. Yeah, really. Those are some really cool sequences. Arkham Asylum was really cool. That one holds up really well. And it's still a fun game. I'll say this, I don't know how good Lego Batman's gonna be, but adopting the Arkham style of gameplay for that is that's a pretty good choice. That's a smart choice. Can't deny I like that.
Who is the architect of this tower? It is profoundly different from the other ruins here. While its lower levels appear congruent with the architecture and technology encountered elsewhere on Atropos, the higher levels are something else. What manner of being could construct infinity?
There we go. There's a gun I can get behind. There's a fun gun. I like this one. How many of you all are there? My goodness. Alright, we did it. We got it. There's a lot of them. I'm just praying that they use the Arkham Asylum jingle at points that would hit the right. Yeah. That would be pretty cool. That would be cool. I'd be cool with that. Oh. What's this one? That's a level 26. Even better. Oh gosh, there's another tower. Yeah. Oh, there's more of them. There we go. Alright, what we got here? Increases max integrity, weapon damage. Yeah, we'll go with that. When is Vex reacting to last week's Alien Earth episode? She rates it on Discord. When was this? I have heard nothing about this. Did this just happen? Why did I not hear about this? Hang on, wait a minute. Have I been messaged in regard to this? What is going on? Okay. It was Thursday. Ah. Maybe I did miss that then because I might have been asleep by then for all I know. Sorry. Just checking something. I'm looking at the poll right now. Ooh. Hollow Knight and Shinobi are not far apart right now. It might have been Friday. It was last week for sure. Gotcha. That is quite surprising. I would have thought Hollow Knight would be running away at this point because it was off to such a strong start, but Shinobi has its defenders, it seems. That's cool. Kind of glad by that, actually. I wouldn't mind playing Shinobi on stream. Shinobi's dude. New Shinobi is really good. I think people are sleeping on it, to be perfectly honest. I know Expedition 33 and Hollow Knight Silksong are all the talk, but y'all, I'm telling you, Shinobi is good. It's really good. We'll see what happens. Alright, do that pop. Alright, we'll look at Discord. That's probably why I missed it. Well, I don't look at Discord either. I was more wondering because, I mean, me, Vex, Cannoli, and Whitey basically talk daily. I would have thought she would have said something in that chat, which maybe she did and I missed it. Because Thursday I go to sleep before most people because of work the next morning, but In what sense getting away with it? Like, have they... What's going on? I heard about the terrorism thing, but I'm like, okay, that's one... Like, that's one aspect to the charges, I would assume, so... A lot of times they'll drop charges in lieu of a plea deal of sorts, but... They were just charged to second-degree murder. So, what's the sentence they're talking about? Is it life? I mean, what are we talking here? I mean, it's New York, so that kind of effery, I guess. I'm like, wow, second-degree murder. That means it's not premeditated. What deal did you all make to make that happen? Because I have a hard time believing this wasn't premeditated. It certainly wasn't self-defense. Oh, it wasn't a crime of passion. I think he's pretty clear he planned it. He had an intended target. So I'm just like, is this part of a plea deal? Or what are we doing here? I mean, it's New York. New York just... It's New York being New York. I hate to say it. I mean, if we're being honest, if what happened to Charlie Kirk happened somewhere other than Utah, there'd be a good chance that kid wouldn't get... He'd be getting a pretty light sentence, too, whenever that all comes to fruition. It is worth noting, though, Utah, technically speaking, still does have firing squad. I mean, dude, I use Discord like never. I do not bother with Discord. I think there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with Discord, but it's kind of a hassle. I don't use it. I'll get to talk to her about it tonight, so we'll probably go into next chat and be like, so, what did you think of last week's episode? How was that for you? What did you think of the whole splooge to the face thing? I don't like their UI very much because it's all backward. Yeah. Not a fan of it. It's not the worst social media platform, but it's not a favorite. I mean, I found like X is the easiest to use overall. I mean, it's got plenty of its own problems. Suffer damage from picking up items. Court found that the evidence did not support the statutory requirements for terrorism. Under the state law. Like, I'll be honest, I thought the terrorism charge was, like, those being dropped did not surprise me. I kind of expected they would be. Because I don't know if technically you could call that a form of terrorism. But to me, I was like, okay, it's not. It may not be that, but I'm like, it's first-degree murder. So why would it be anything other than that? I mean, is the suggestion here that the guy did something to him, so he just decided to off him? That doesn't make a lot of sense. It was it was a clear target. Which means there was some planning behind it. He got dressed specifically to perform the action. There's some premeditation there. But it's New York. It's New York. 90s edgelord music do I think they're gonna use tonight? Good question. I'm gonna go, like, if my Welcome to the Jungle prediction is to come true, I think this would be the night for it. So that's what I'll say. I still think Vex had the best overall prediction, with Nirvana being used at some point, but I won't leech off of her prediction. I'll go with my own. I'm pretty sure this is an episode where they're going to be in the jungle, so I'm going to say Welcome to the Jungle. Though I still kind of think I'm giving them too much credit for actually having a song that might sort of fit. That might be the reason why it's not a good choice. You're gonna save Nirvana? Yeah. We're gonna save Nirvana. You know what would actually be legit funny? If our prediction about What's-Her-Face being the Alien Queen proves to be true, and they start playing Killer Queen, that actually would be funny. That would be a half-bad joke. I'd be like, okay, I'll give you a little bit for that. That's funny. Do I think they'll do that? No. But it would be funny. Alright, here we go, here we go, here we go. Game on, everybody, game on. Shred it. My dad actually said he watched Wolf Creek yesterday, which I still haven't seen. I've heard that's actually a pretty decent horror movie. He seemed to like it. Disgorgers. Disgorgers are neat. No, anyway, one of the good Nirvana songs, it'll be one of the super popular ones, like I've heard a million times, yeah. It's basically two good tracks, Something in the Way. Where'd you sleep last night? I mean, I like several of their songs. Like, my favorite Nirvana song is probably In Bloom. That's the one I like. I liked Smells Like Teen Spirit, but it's, you know, it's overplayed. It's kind of its big problem. It's just I've heard it a billion times, so it's not a song I get excited for because I'm just like, yeah, I've heard this a lot. But sorry, I have to hear Sounds Like Teen Spirit one more time. Yeah. That's the thing. That's how you kind of know it's overplayed, is you didn't even grow up with it. We did. Though I still like Weird Al's Smells Like Nirvana. I think that's pretty funny still. That's my preferred version of the song. I know they did a cover of The Man Who Sold the World, which I think they have one of the weaker covers of that song, to be honest. I still think the original version of that song is the best version. Did I hear about the old man? I'll be honest, I'm a little surprised people are acting like this is something we didn't know from day one. Because when we first were seeing the video and people were saying this is apparently the shooter, I was like, based on what? Other than him being arrested, what are we basing that on? And then and if you listen to him talking, you know, once you realize, you know, he wasn't the guy, but you then reconnect the fact that, you know, what he was saying, I was like, well, yeah, he was trying to assist the shooter, either in a coordinated fashion, or just because that's what we're dealing with. I'm a little surprised people think this is a shock. Or why we're acting like this is new information. I'm like, yeah, he was trying to assist him. I thought that was evident from day one. I was surprised they released him. Like, once they knew he wasn't the shooter, I was like, well, he still needs to be in custody because he was trying to distract from the shooter. Oh, that was kind of obvious. Same with that one dude who was, who jumped up and was like, you know, getting in the way of the camera and like hooting and hollering and stuff, and then tried to say, oh no, I was just trying to keep people safe. And I'm like, yeah, right. It's what he's now being charged. Charged for... When you say charged for CP, what do you mean, charged for CP? I just want to make sure that abbreviation means what I think it could mean. You don't know what CP stands for? Off the top of my head, that could mean a couple things. Actually, it could mean something really, really mild. It could mean something very non-mild, actually. Is the first word child? Let me ask that. Is the first word child? Because the reason why I needed some level of context is because CP can also stand for criminal trespass, or not, oh shoot. Okay, the first word's child now. Okay, good. That's what I thought you meant. That's what I thought you meant. That is not surprising either. It's the same. Okay. Yeah. Never abbreviate cyberpunk.
It has its own cycle. Repeating.
That's probably a good policy to have. It's probably a good policy to have.
Higher.
I figured that's what you meant. I just wanted to be certain. And no, I don't find that surprising in the least. I really don't. That does not shock me even a little. It totally tracks that a person who is that kind of person, or it totally tracks that the type of person that would distract and try to assist the person who did that would be into that. That tracks 100%. Not the least bit surprised. That's a lot of wheelchairs, y'all. You reached the surface, you left the surface, you breached the surface. Repeated over and over and over. This hospital gets spookier and spookier as you go.
All of it.
Imagine you just say, I'm gonna play the... No. We're gonna play CP 2077. Is that different than how... Never mind. It's like, no! Stop it.
I thought this was what I wanted.
Celine's a baby killer.
It was hard.
We should just eat ham and mayonnaise sandwiches.
Did Mother feel the same?
Chat would probably mess. They're like, what's he talking about right now? Do. A baby is never a burden. Unless you're Celine and you're evil. Or her mother, who's also evil. This is kind of why this game is secretly based. It's kind of just showing how horrible women are. It's like, this is a highly misogynist game. And I'm down with it. Major spinal fracture, multiple points, little to no use of legs. That's referring to the mother, I'm pretty sure. High-speed vehicle impact injuries exacerbated by attempts to free passengers and return them to safety. Definitely not Celine, because that's not really what she did. It's difficult to engage Ms. Vassos in her physiotherapy. She is distant, irritable, and reluctant to discuss either her injury or her recovery, though she masks it well. It is obvious that she is in great pain despite her medication. This, coupled with the distress inherent to the loss of her mobility and, in turn, her career, has doubtless contributed to her unwillingness to engage. However, other patients in similar situations have not reacted similarly. It is unclear to me why the patient does not wish to at least attempt to improve her quality of life. Given that the patient is so resistant to even the concept of physical therapy, I am at a loss on how best to proceed. It is my conclusion that she is beyond help. At this time, regrettably, all I can do is recommend her discharge. Yep, that is the mother. And the mother, unlike Celine, saved her kid. Who else killed baby birds? Umbridge. Probably. That's why she likes cats so much. It's probably how she fed her cats. Wellness. Why are you here? How to thrive on adversity. It's one of these kind of games I like that have all these little story details littered throughout. You have the Mother's Magazine, space flight and rocketry. Pretty much, Whitey. Pretty much. Did I actually just see a James and the Giant Peach reference? I'm gonna have to look at that. The girl heard a voice from deep in the green calling out sadly, but no matter how far she raced, she never did see the caller's face. To read on my feed, an adult toy company contacted Count Dankula about making... Oh, wow. Wow.
So
okay.
sad. But
Alex and the
pictures.
Giant Nectarine. Yep, that is a James and the Giant Peach reference. Alex and the Giant Nectarine. Hosty and I tried watching Age of Innocence. We had to stop. Yeah, Hosty told me a bit about that. He asked me if I had seen it. I haven't. He said it kind of didn't feel like a Scorsese film. So I was like, that's interesting. That's interesting. I think one of those times, like, you turn around, there's like an astronaut at the end of the hallway, and I remember seeing that and being like, go, jeez. If you told me that Milos Forman or Kubrick had directed, I would have believed you. It doesn't feel like a Scorsese film. When it started, it felt a lot like you were inside a Victorian novel. That's interesting. That's interesting. Alright, let's head back to the main game. Probably won't go too much longer. Already almost at the 2-hour mark. We did get a trophy. We got the Parasite one. Let's deposit those in the old Parasite receptacle. Or, that's the ether receptor. What am I talking about? Yeah, y'all make sure y'all vote on that poll, because we're going to be doing something different probably tomorrow. I think it's probably going to be tomorrow. We're going to start either Hollow Knight or Shinobi. Gotcha. Yeah, movies like what you're all describing Age of Innocence is, I'm like, I kind of feel like I have to be in a certain mood. An area described Victorian life as a smooth hypocrisies of his pews. That sounds gay. I'm just kidding. It's not a movie to watch 3 whiskeys in after watching Shrek. Is that how you did it? Was that the method? I'm not sure what movie should be watched. I mean, well, I could probably think of a few. I would think that 3 whiskeys and a Shrek is just a good lead-in to another comedy. Three whiskeys and a Shrek, it's like, I don't know if... Yeah, Age of Innocence almost just sounds like you're furthering the joke. It also tends to depend on what do you mean by 3 whiskeys. Do you mean 3 shots of whiskey? Do you mean 3 glasses of whiskey? Do you mean 3 fifths of whiskey? What are we talking here? How much whiskey are we talking about? Oh my goodness. What is this? 3 Jack on the rocks, with me pouring. I mean, if you're gonna jack on the rocks, I mean, I guess, you know what, I'm not even gonna finish that sentence. That had nowhere to go but gross. That had nowhere else to go. I don't even know why I started that sentence. Other than to spur on your imaginations. In which case, I hope I did my job. People say I have a dirty mind. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't even finish it. I didn't even finish. Okay, maybe. Okay, oh, that's dirty. There we go. That's the dirty part. Okay. I went there. I went there. Okay. Zip on down here. I just need to find some of the glyphs and stuff. I gotta finish the survey for all these areas. Usually by now I've got at least one of them finished, but we'll go on still on all of them. It's such a crapshoot. My integrity increased. Hooray. Just two of them. Nah. Just two isn't good. High probability, no. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. When does that Harry Potter show even start? Is that soon or is that next year? I can never keep track of these things, it seems. I would think they haven't. I don't even know if they started filming. Oh, are y'all watching Harry Potter next? Gotcha. Still contend the fourth one is the best one. Apparently happy that Tim Russ, I don't know who that is. I don't even know what Star Trek he belongs to. I don't freaking care about Star Trek. Show is coming, the ginger side is real, yeah. Suffer damage from long falls. It's not too bad, but I've already got my integrity at a fairly decent level for where I'm at, so it's all good. It's all good. Okay. But yeah, is that like a modern Star Trek actor? Who is that? I genuinely have no idea who that is. I got the sealed skull. Like, if you told me it was like George Takei, I'd be like, yeah, that I figured. That makes sense. Because he's kind of awful. Like, even Jamie Lee Curtis showed some humanity over it, and then it's getting raked through the coals for it, and I'm like, now let's see how long it takes for her to apologize. Or will she? And by apologize, I mean, you know, do the apology tour for her side. Played Lieutenant Commander Tuvok on Voyager. Okay, I don't know who that is. No idea. No idea. I've never been a Star Trek person. Seen some of it, but just not much. A weapon harvester. I massively prefer Star Wars to Star Trek. I mean, at least like the OG movies, yeah. I mean, I'll give Wrath of Khan credit. Wrath of Khan's excellent. I didn't even hate the original Star Trek movie. I thought, okay, it's esoteric and strange, and it's very clearly trying to do some 2001 stuff, but I at least was intrigued watching it. probably not a movie I would be like quick to ever watch again, but I didn't hate it. But now Wrath of Khan, on the other hand, I was like, okay, yeah, Wrath of Khan's pretty freaking good. The JJ movies are awful. Though even JJ didn't direct the worst of the Star Trek, the recent Star Trek movies. That would have been the guy who did Beyond. I freaking hated Beyond. Beyond was awful. Well, that's the thing. I don't know if it's optics because I'm like, okay, I do think there are people who have some, at least some basic humanity. Even some truly terrible people. But, and the thing that makes Hollywoodites actually expressing, at the very least, the correct response to this whole thing is nobody in Hollywood is going to condemn them for having the wrong response. Nobody. If they have the quote-unquote, if they have the wrong response, no one in there is going to actually condemn them, which makes me inclined to think if they have the correct response, that might actually be the one that they kind of mean, to a degree. Or, and this would be furthering to your point, they just simply assumed everybody was still being basically human, and they were like, oh wait, our side's not doing that. Okay, well then I don't have to lie. But she just didn't get the memo. So you very well could be right. It's kind of like last night when we were talking about like Anna Kasparian and whether or not like she's actually changing and all that stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I have a hard time buying this. I know she has tried to engage with people on the right a little bit more friendly than she used to. And last night when I was saying I would need to see actual evidence that not only has she stopped saying, using the rhetoric she's used, but that, she would actually acknowledge that she did and that she was wrong to. That'd be a nice step in the right direction. And then someone said, well, she has done that before. And I'm like, can you prove it? Can you actually show me? And to this guy's credit, he actually gave me a soundbite that sort of had that. But, and this is what I told him, I said, okay, this is close to what I was asking for. Her expressing at least some manner of regret and contrition that she had talked about people on the right that way. However, I was like, if you look at the date on that video that he shared, I was like, this was right after the election last year. So right after that. And if you remember, TYT kind of changed their strategy up all of a sudden after Trump won. That's when they started cozying up to people on the right. So I was like, I don't know if she's being genuine or if this is just performative in the strategic sense. So I was like, basically, like, in order to confirm this, I would have to comb over, like, their content over the months since. Now, her boss, I don't buy his angle for a second. I don't buy him for a second. I definitely think he's been saying precisely what he believes. I think he's full of it. And at the very least, she has some culpability because she works for him. But just in general, I'm like, it is hard for me to believe that those statements were anything other than performative. It's not to say that she thinks what happened to Kirk was good, but I'm like, You share some culpability in this for turning up the temperature on the rhetoric. So I'm like, yeah, it's hard for me to say that I buy this whole, well, we don't talk that way anymore act. I'm like, well, if you all were in power right now, would you? That's what I wonder. And I think I know the answer. Let's see. For one thing, we know Jimmy Kimmel and others definitely. Well, Jimmy Kimmel kind of showed where he stood on it. What was it, last night? It's like, yeah, they're just flat out lying about it at this point. I mean, like, they're just full-blown pretending like all of the information we're getting isn't the information we're getting. And I'm like, okay. I shall make BLTs. I don't want BLT. BL is fine. I don't like tomatoes that much. Not a big tomato fan. I think tomatoes taste strange. Zachary Levi is a good dude. Yeah, I mean, I think he's I think at the very least, he has been consistently decent. I don't agree with all of his views, but I have seen nothing from him to suggest anything other than he has basic decency and more. So yeah, I do like him. Yeah, I think he's decent. I think Shuon Head is decent. I like her. And her view, like most of her political views, I completely disagree with. But I think she's a decent lady. I think she's smart. She's entertaining. Like, I actually kind of like. She's one of the people I would almost say I semi-feel bad for as far as like her side of the aisle, because I'm like. She strikes, like, her response to this has just been like, I cannot believe that these people have taken over my political party. And I'm like, yeah, kind of sucks, doesn't it? You know who Shuon Head is? You ought to look up Shuon Head. Shuon Head's pretty, I like her. I like her. Yeah, she is pretty. I mean, she's fairly left-leaning, but she's a pretty honest liberal. Like, she makes like a lot of her content. It's like, even if you don't agree with her political views, she's a lot of takes you will agree with, because she spends a lot of time ripping into her own side. Like, she's not, like, anti-American, she's not anti-conservative or anything. It's like, yeah, she has political beliefs that are very different from ours. Alright, tell you what, we're gonna do this room, and that is gonna be where we wrap it up. Me, the monarchist in the corner. I'd say at this point I'm more akin to a Christian populist. You jerk, you hit me. Take it out. Get it. What's in here? Give me something good. There we go. That's more like it. That's quite good. It's only a 2-shotter, but it's a level 4. It's a level 4. I thought I zoomed there. Yeah, I know. There's a ton of people, calling to boycott Bethesda over that whole thing, and I'm like, I was like, well, that for me, that would be the easiest boycott in the world because I don't like Bethesda to begin with. I wasn't a fan of theirs anyway. I don't like them. Don't care for them. Never did. Alright, you have a good one, Waylon. Yeah, we're about to wrap up here as well. Gonna have some dinner, and then I gotta get ready for Alien Earth. Ready for Alien Earth. I don't want it. Okay. We're through that area, ladies and gents. That is going to be where we wrap it up. Appreciate you all joining me tomorrow. We're either going to be doing Hollow Knight or Shinobi. If you haven't voted on the Twitter poll and or the poll in the community section, do so. And I will see you all tonight on Plot Strikes Back talking Alien Earth, or tomorrow. But until then, good night, God bless, and Godspeed.